When it comes to video games, people spend money in a weird way. FIFA 22 is out. Yeah, surely it won't be FIFA 21 with a different UI. A new Apex Legends heirloom is out. Oh, I heckin' love heirlooms. Let's spend hundreds of bucks to get a cosmetic item that doesn't give you any advantage in fights and is just a visual clutter. Wait, what are you saying? Oh, you don't have that much money? Well, welcome to the club, and don't worry, because you can play a lot of awesome games without spending a dollar, penny or euro or whatever. No, I'm not talking about piracy, that's illegal and immoral, don't do that. I've never done that in my entire life. Yeah, or at least I don't need to do that anymore because I'm getting so many fucking games for free that in the end it's not worth it to risk getting a Bitcoin miner or Spyro on my PC just to play a goddamn game. So here are the best games I played in 2021 without spending anything. Yeah, I know you don't give a fuck about what I played this year, but who knows, maybe you'll find some games that you've never heard before and you play them and have fun. And Number 10, Iris and the Giant. This is a turn-based card game that probably me, the devs, and other 10 people in the world beat it, but if it made in this top 10, there's a reason. So in short, the game loop is really simple. Defeat enemies, reach the stairs, go to the next level, repeat. Yeah, I know that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but trust me when I say there is more than that. Like many types of enemies and so many types of cards, because one interesting thing about this game is that every enemy can be turned into a card you can play. Then there are many upgrades and some cool combos you can make. That is always a fun thing to do, and there are even puzzle levels. I got this game for free with Prime Games, which I know it's not really free, but I mean. Number 9, Guild of Dungeoneering. Another turn-based card game for this position. As the name suggests, in this game you need to explore dungeons and complete objectives to win, but the twist is that you build a level, so you decide where to place monsters and loot. This original gameplay mechanic is supported by a pretty fun combat system with physical and magical damage, and by the multitude of abilities, items and bosses. It's a good game, and the soundtrack is great. Number 8, Void Bastards. First-person shooter roguelike game. Basically, you're in a space prison and you have to craft some items in order to get the freedom. And to do that, you jump from ship to ship, trying to harvest as many materials as you can. Unfortunately, the ship's layout is not randomly generated, so the replayability is not huge, but it's just enough to keep you hooked, at least until you beat the game. If you like space games and being insulted by alien life, this game is for you. Number 7, Metro 2033 Redux. First-person shooter game set in a post-apocalyptic world where everyone lives in metros because on the surface you need a mask to breathe. Really solid game, the shooting is fun, the story is overall interesting, although sometimes it's a bit weird, but overall not much to say, it's just a good game. Number 6, The Hunter Call of the Wild. If you're tired and you want to play a game that is less intense than a battle royale but more immersive than solitaire, well, this is the perfect game for you. In this realistic hunting game, all you do is jogging around the map, spot an animal, shoot it, and then try to chase it down for the next 30 minutes without seeing it ever again. All of that in a really beautiful map, even if you're playing with low graphic settings like me, with probably one of the best skies I've ever seen in a video game, and with some really good and relaxing sound effects. If you can't give this game a try, oh, what's that? You're tired of running and you want a faster way of moving around the map? Oh well, you can buy ATVs. No, not with in-game currency, with real money, because apparently there's a DLC just for 3 fucking ATVs. Now I got this game for free with the Epic Games, so I can't really complain, but imagine paying 20 bucks and then finding out that something so important like a vehicle is in a fucking DLC. I would be really pissed. But the game is good. Number 5, Journey to the Savage Planet plus the DLC. This game is free with Prime Gaming with this month, and I have to say, it's a good game. The maps are beautiful, there are many enemies with some really peculiar abilities. For example, this guy poops, and that's it. And I liked a lot the movement abilities you unlock over time, like sliding, grappling, and jumping while midair. The only thing I didn't like is the final mission of the game. It's fucking boring and annoying. I really don't know what the devs were thinking when they designed it. But for the rest, it's a good game. I also played the DLC, and I liked it. I would give to this game a solid 8 out of 10. Number 4, Hand of Fate 2. I have to confess, I struggled to write a decent description about this one, and that's because this game is really weird. From the trailer and everything, it seems like you're gonna play a card game, but when you actually start playing it, you find out it's everything but a card game. The cards are just a way to list all the things you have, like health, food, money, helms, armor, rings, and weapons, and then there are encounter cards that define your adventure because yes, this game is divided into adventures. There's also a really well made endless mode, definitely the most entertaining endless mode I've ever seen in a video game. And sometimes these cards require you to fight some enemies, and so out of nowhere the game becomes a third person Souls-like game with blocks, parries, and blockable attacks and so on. And the cool thing is that before every adventure you decide which encounter cards to bring with you, and some of them have tokens which then unlock other cards, creating some sort of side missions, side adventures. I think that's a really cool mechanic that makes you want to play even after you finish the main story, like I did. Again, a really difficult game to explain, and honestly you may not like it, but personally I fucking loved it and I will definitely go back on this game one day. Number 3, The Long Dark. So I remember the first time I played this game, it was shortly after Epic Games gave it for free in December 2020. So basically you're flying a plane, but then it crashes in the mountains, which makes sense, otherwise it wouldn't be a survival game. Then the game does a sort of tutorial, so you learn how to make a fire, hunt rabbits, how to avoid wolves, and so on. And then you reach this radio tower, and what you have to do here is look over this railing and realize there's a village, and then take this hidden road to the right to reach it. Problem is, I didn't fucking realize there was a village in the first place, and I thought Radio Tower was just a dead end, so I spent a lot of time going back and forth in the tutorial area because I thought I missed something. And once I finally managed to find my way to the village, you can imagine my reaction when I realized the first mission of the game is to gather wood and food for this old blind woman with a rifle, which probably is the most boring quest of the entire game. And so yeah, I uninstalled the game. But months later, I decided to give this game a second chance, and oh boy, it was damn worth it. After that mission, the game got a lot more interesting, and the devs are still working and releasing new episodes of the campaign, not even in DLCs, which is really generous of them, and I must say they're doing a great job. The last episode they released is for me the best so far. Anyways, the graphics of this game is relatively simple, but despite that, the game is really immersive, thanks to the audio and the weather effects, and it makes this game one of the best survival games out there in my opinion, and it definitely deserves this third place. Number 2, Dying Light. Yeah, I know it's a pretty old game, but if you never played it, you need to know it's not too late, because this game is fucking awesome. So basically there is this classic zombie disease, and you're part of this governmental organization called GRE, and you're sent into this quarantine city to retrieve some sensitive files. This is just the beginning of the game, so relax, I haven't spoiled you anything, and the game is all about completing quests in this open world map filled with zombies, and the thing that really makes me love this game is the movement abilities, like climbing buildings, riding ziplines, jumping over zombies, and then the fighting abilities like drop kicks or smashing zombies' heads when they're stunned on the floor. So the story is great, and the gameplay feels great, and if you're gonna buy this game or wait for another free weekend to grind the shit out of it like how I did, I strongly recommend to buy the following DLC as well. It's huge, it's basically another game, there are vehicles, and the story is great too, so don't miss it. 9.9 out of 10 for this game, absolute masterpiece. Number 1, I mean, it just has to be Apex Legends. I have 1.5k hours in this game. I just love it. It's the best battle royale game I've ever played. I even made a video explaining why it's so good. It's far from perfect. It has a fair amount of problems like audio, shitty servers, but you know it's good. Trust me, it's just good. So that was my top 10 of the games I played this year, and yeah, leave a like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know, whatever.